What is up, you guys? It's Drew, and this week I'm going to be talking about why I cut alcohol out for a full month. So, for the month of December, I did not drink a single sip of alcohol until December 31st, New Year's Eve. I did have a beer, but that was basically almost January 1st, so it was close enough. I also hadn't drank for a couple of days at the end of November just by happenstance. I just happened to not drink those last few days. So technically it was about 30 days, if not a little bit more than 30 days of no alcohol. And I chose to do that for a couple of reasons. And the main one being that I wasn't being very mindful of when I was drinking. And what I mean by that is I was just kind of I'm supposed to have a beer, so I'm gonna have a beer, instead of I want a beer sounds good, so I'm gonna drink a beer. I wasn't necessarily drinking a bunch and getting super drunk or anything like that, but I was just drinking a lot more often than normal. And I had some blood work done in October, November, somewhere in there. And my liver enzymes were a little bit high, and so the first thing my doctor asked me was, do you drink a lot? And I said, no. And I went, well, I drink on this day every week. I drink when I do this. I drink when I do that, blah, blah, blah. And it just kind of made me realize that I do revolve my life around alcohol quite a bit, and I just don't like that. And I set a word for the year for me to kind of focus on and just to keep me centered throughout the year, and that word is intention. And so this just felt like step one towards being more intentional. And drinking when it makes sense. And I know some people would say you should never drink at all. Cool, I'm glad that works for you. I don't agree with that. I grew up around people drinking. I don't think there's a problem with it. I think people certainly abuse it. I'm not saying that doesn't exist at all. But I think it's perfectly fine if you're responsible about it. So, and of age and all those things. So I am of age, and so I do choose to drink. I actually enjoy the taste of beer, truly enjoy the taste of beer. And honestly, if a non-alcoholic version of beer existed that tasted exactly the same, I'd probably drink it. There aren't many times that I'm I want to get hammered. That's just not really how I am. It does happen, but it is what it is, So so that 30 days-ish of no drinking was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Just because a lot of the time, if my wife and I are oh, let's go do something, it's oh, let's go try out this new tap house, or go get a burger and beer, or go get drinks, or go, it's just really associated with our social life. And so it just came up more often than I realized. And we went to 2 parties. Yeah, my wife's Christmas party and our friend's ugly sweater Christmas party. Both of those places had alcohol. The first one, the work Christmas party, we had to buy our own alcohol if we wanted alcoholic drinks, but her company paid for all of our food and stuff. And so that was a good reason to not drink. We didn't have money to spend on that, so we didn't. It was pretty easy. It wasn't that weird that we weren't drinking. There were a couple other people that weren't drinking that are either underage or pregnant or just chose not to. So it wasn't that weird. It wasn't that hard. It was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But the ugly Christmas sweater party, everybody was drinking. And at one point, our friend was passing around a bottle of bourbon and doing shots off of it. And I really wanted to, just because I actually like bourbon. And I still just chose not to, because I agreed that for the month of December I wouldn't drink. So that was still in December, so I chose not to. So I don't really know if this is interesting to anybody or if anybody really cares about it, but basically I just did it to prove to myself that I could, and that I'm not relying on alcohol to live my life. I'm not waking up and thinking about alcohol every day. I'm not, nothing like that. Not that I thought I was, but I just, again, wanted to be more intentional with when I drink, why I drink, how I drink, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really applying that to other aspects of my life too. I really want to get healthy. I really want to get fit. I don't even necessarily want to lose weight. I just want to have more endurance and agility and just general strength. And so I kind of made a bet with myself that I could not go to the gym 3 days a week for a full month. So yeah, I've been doing that. And it's only January 4th, but I have done that this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll do it again next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I'm just going to keep that up through the month, and then maybe February it'll be, I bet you can't do 4 days a week, and I'll add another day in there, whatever, however that ends up panning out. But yeah, so it's just kind of been a good strategy too for like applying to New Year's resolutions. I don't really set resolutions, but I do set goals for the year and adjust those throughout the year as life happens. But yeah, so that was just kind of like how I set that up with myself and was able to kind of hold myself accountable. My wife and my therapist also held me accountable, and checked in with me and like, hey, how are you feeling about alcohol? We're going to this event that's going to have alcohol. How are you feeling? Do you want to drink? Do you not want to drink? Like what's up, And it was interesting because like probably 3 weeks in, that's when I started to like, okay, I like just want the taste of beer. Like that just sounds so good. And so yeah, it got a little hard at the end, but overall it was a really good experience. I'm glad I did it. I've only had 2 beers since then, and I'm fine with that. I plan to keep my drinking very intentional and minimal. One, just because it's a lot of money, and two, I just don't want to affect my liver any more than I already am. Taking ibuprofen and just, not eating good things and stuff like that. So yeah, if you have any questions about my experience with alcohol or comments or anything like that, leave them down below. If you want, follow me on Instagram. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on here. And if you need to talk about anything, feel free to DM me on Instagram, or you can leave me a comment, like whatever works for you. I'm open. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys.